other focus tonight? Well, the story that every media channel organization has been following, that of course is the tragic murder of Arushi and Hemraj. And today the mother of Arushi, Nupur Talwar, was denied bail by a sessions court. She is accused in the double murder of her daughter Arushi and domestic help Hemraj along with her husband Rajesh Talwar. The judge in a strongly worded order said there is prima facie evidence against Nupur Talwar. He said that she can tamper with evidence if she is released on bail. He also rubbished her claim that as a mother, she would not murder her own daughter, saying in the modern era, anything is possible. The family is in shock and have now appealed to the Supreme Court for bail for Nupur Talwar. The worry, of course, now is that the Allahabad High Court may also cancel Rajesh Talwar's bail, so they're worried about that. The next hearing for that is on Monday. Public opinion, however, remains bitterly divided, with some arguing that this was the result of a media trial, others convinced that the Talwars are guilty. Well, that's a debate that will go on as the trial begins. But joining me tonight, somebody who's been a staunch defender of the Talwars, and that's Patrick French, author of India, A Portrait. And Mr. French, you've tweeted and you've expressed also outrage at the fact, as you put it, that an innocent woman, Nupur Talwar, is in jail. What would you say today, given the tenor of that order against her and the fact that she may well be in jail now for the duration of the trial, depending on what the Supreme Court decides?
Well, I think the wording of the order given by the Sessions Court is very strange. The idea that she could, all these years later, 4 years later after the crime, tamper with evidence is, I think, an absurd suggestion. And my support, as you put it, for the Talwar family is based purely on the fact that I investigated what had happened in 2008 in great detail. And after talking to a lot of different people with different points of view, people who were there at the time, I ended up completely certain that both Rajesh and Nupur Talwar are innocent and that they could not be and are not guilty of this crime.
Patrick French, you've also, when you said that you actually investigated, that seems a pretty direct comment on what you feel has been the media coverage, or as the Talwars have put it, the media hounding of the family.
Well, you know, India has a free media, and so inevitably in cases like this, sometimes it works for the family, sometimes it works against this family. And I think a lot of the reason for that is that on the occasions when Nupur Talwar has given interviews, she's spoken as a doctor, as a professional. She hasn't been breaking down in tears like a mother. And so people who maybe haven't looked at the details of what happened in 2008 have thought bad things about her. But what I come back to is the fact that nobody who has accused her of this crime has come up with a motive. By all accounts, she was a deeply loving mother of a successful, happy, well-adjusted 13-year-old girl. So if people are going to suggest that she might be responsible for the murder, they have to come up with a motive. And so far that has not happened, because it's a completely implausible idea.
Well, let me bring in on my panel tonight two very senior lawyers, Mr. Raju Ramachandran and also Pinky Anand. I'm also joined by Ashish Nandi, well-known sociologist. Mr. Ramachandran, just on the basis of evidence, and of course many have argued that I talked about a media trial and them being hounded, but many on the other hand have argued that the media has been too sympathetic. And in fact, that interview Patrick referred to was done by me, and many said that that interview was also too sympathetic to her. Do you think the fact that the CBI had actually filed a closure report, it was the court which said that we will not let you close the case, based on this we feel there should be a trial, there is prima facie evidence against him, and again a court has rejected her bail today, do you think legally this case must now actually be left to it as a legal matter, and there should be no issues further raised on this?
Absolutely. Let's remember one thing, that this rule of bail not jail doesn't apply to serious offences attracting life imprisonment or death sentence. There the rule is the exact opposite. It is only if a court is satisfied prima facie that an accused is innocent that the law permits the court to grant bail. So let's not forget that this is a case of a double murder, and in a case like this, bail is not the norm, and there are additional features which have been commented upon by the judge, namely that she tried to evade the process of the court. I think, therefore, that the order passed by the court is unexceptionable, and the law should be allowed to take its own course. We should not be swayed by sympathy only because we relate, the upper middle class relates to someone who could have been your dentist or my dentist. The point is, the law is the same for everyone.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.